of these 3 challengers will get a chance to win our grand prize package worth over $5,000. Yeah, that's the good news. Now, the bad news. To try and stop them, we have collected the finest steel trap pop trivia minds in existence and assembled them here in our arena. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the Geeks.
Mark Edward Hoyt, the movie geek.
I was the man who was gushing to you about Quentin Tarantino before he was cool.
Andy Sachs, the music geek.
I've got albums by Pearls Before Swine, Nurse with Wound, and Ultimate Spinach. And I've got some obscure stuff, too.
Paul Goebel, the TV geek.
If you can name every character on What's Happening, you might have a chance. Otherwise...
And our special guest geek, Antonio Lopez, the Simpsons geek.
I own a limited edition glow-in-the-dark Homer Simpson action figure worth over $200.
The abominable snowmen of trivia that want to crush your chance for the grand prize. So, OP, Emily, Dave, that's what you're up against, and here's how it's going to work. Only 2 of you will earn the right to challenge the Geeks in the next round, and only 1 of you will make it all the way to the final round where you'll face the geek of your choice for a chance at the grand prize package. But right now, 1 of you's got to go, so we're going to start things off with 4 5-point toss-up questions, hands over buzzers, in the subject of movies. What Bedtime for Bonzo star went on to become President of the United States? Dave.
Ronald Reagan.
That's who it was. 5 points for you. Now, Movie Geek, Reagan was actually president of the Screen Actors Guild before he was the president of the U.S.
Yeah, Reagan was never the greatest actor, but he was always kind of a likable presence on screen. You know, he didn't object when he sang. It was kind of like the Tim Allen of his day, because they're both into getting more power.
Excellent analogy. Thank you, Movie Geek. All right, challengers, here's your next toss-up question. In the subject of music, what Indiana-born rocker dropped the cougar from his name? Dave.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
That is correct. In the subject of Simpsons, who is the personal assistant to Mr. Burns? Emily.
Smithers.
Smithers is correct. All right, challengers, here's your last 5-point question. In the subject of TV, now let me preface this by saying the answer is not Tonto. In the TV series The Lone Ranger, what was the name of the fiery steed the Lone Ranger mounted? Emily.
Silver?
That is correct. Silver for 5 points. All right, that's the end of the 5-point questions. Let's look at the score. We've got Dave and Emily tied with 10. OP, yet to get on the board. Thank you, Tiffany. We're going on now to 4 10-point toss-up questions. I'll remind you, only the 2 of you who are in the lead after these questions will move on to challenge the Geeks in the next round. In the subject of Simpsons, what is Ned Flanders' favorite book? Emily.
The Holy Bible.
That is correct. All right, challengers. In the subject of movies, in Ghostbusters, the ectomobile was a converted what? OP.
Hearse.
Incorrect. Emily.
Ambulance?
Ambulance is right. 10 points. In the subject of music, what diva is married to a former member of New Edition? Emily.
Whitney Houston.
That is correct. 10 points for you. Music Geek, they've recorded a couple songs together, haven't they?
I think that's true, yeah. You know, Whitney actually just scored a $90 million record deal. So I guess we kind of know who's bringing home the bread in that family.
Yes. All right, Music Geek, thank you. All right, challengers, here's your last toss-up question. In the subject of TV, Jack, Karen, Will, and Grace are all characters on NBC's Will and Grace. Name the 2 that are gay. Dave.
Jack and Will.
That is correct. Now, was that the first network series to have openly gay main characters?
Not even close. There's been tons of gay characters, but it is one of the first to have a gay character actually in the title. I'll say I liked Will and Grace on the first season of Will and Grace, and then eventually it turned into the Karen and Jack show, which would be great if they could get rid of Will and Grace. Then I'd watch it. That would be a good show.
All right, that is the end of the toss-up rounds. Let's look at the score. We've got Dave with 20, Emily with 40. OP, you didn't score. Now, I know that you know that I know that you know that you lost, and now what I know is you have to exit the Geek Arena now and get your parting gifts. Bye-bye, OP. See you later. All right, Emily and Dave, you two have proven yourselves worthy to challenge the Geeks in the next round. You'll have the next couple of minutes to rest, and you're going to need it, because when we come back, it'll be a 4-ring Geek circus against 2 little freak shows in the challenge round. Don't miss it here on Beat the Geeks.
Hey, welcome back to Beat the Geeks. I'm Tiffany. Remind week is National Geek Week, so take a geek to lunch.
Yeah, they love it when you pay. Thanks, Tiffany. All right, Emily and Dave, you two survived the first round, so we might as well get to know you. Emily, you're an assistant, and what's the geekiest thing about you?
Well, J. Keith, I collect pandas, and I actually still sleep with my pet panda Sammy, my stuffed.
Now, when you say you sleep with him, like, that's just sleeping.
Yeah, he's a stuffed animal.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure you know where to draw that line.
No, there's-
All right, Emily, glad to have you here. Dave, you're an office assistant. What's the
Yes.
geekiest thing about you?
I go see silent movies every weekend alone.
Oh, we applaud and sympathize there. All right, glad to have you both here. Now, the two of you have made it this far, so really congratulations. You are both still eligible for that grand prize package worth over $5,000. However, now the game starts getting tougher because now you will be playing against the geeks themselves. That is true. In this first challenge round, you'll each have one chance to challenge a geek and try to take his medal. All the medals in this round are worth 20 points, but if you can beat our special guest geek, we'll give you an extra 10 points. Emily, you are in the lead, so you go first. Please challenge a geek.
I challenge the TV geek.
TV geek, you've been challenged.
Emily, this is going to be like a SNL sketch. Very long, very painful.
All righty. Now, since you probably don't know as much as our expert here, we've leveled the playing field. Relatively easy questions for you and possibly difficult ones for the geek. Now, geek, for every easy question your challenger gets right, you will have to answer a more difficult geek-level question in order to defend your medal. If you should fail, you will surrender your medal and the challenger will get 20 points. Thank you, Tiffany. All right, Emily, here's your first TV question. Here's a TV listing. Ed wants the Stuckey Bowl to be declared an historic landmark. Tell me, from what NBC series is this?
Ed?
Ed is correct. All right, TV geek, your medal is in danger. You must answer this more difficult question in order to keep that medal. Here is another TV listing. After being hit by a stray bullet, Charlie milks his wound for attention from Caitlin. What ABC series does this come from?
That is the more recent, unfunny version of Spin City.
That is correct. All right, Emily, move on to another pair of questions. This one is for you. On Three's Company, name one of the two roommates Jack and Janet had after Chrissy moved out.
Terry.
That is correct. Cindy was the other one. All right, TV Geek, again, your medal is in danger. Name the roommate that Janet and Chrissy lived with before Jack moved in, and what actress portrayed her?
When Chrissy moved out, she was replaced by her cousin, Cindy Snow, and she was played by the fabulous Jenny Lee Harrison.
Well, TV Geek, that information may be correct, but it is not the answer to the question we were asking. We wanted to know the roommate that was there before Jack moved in. That, of course, was Eleanor, played by Marianne Black. You must surrender your medal in shame. Oh, TV Geek. And in front of Tiffany, too. All right, Emily, that's a medal for you and 20 points. TV Geek, what happened? You just weren't paying attention to the question?
That's what watching TV will do to you.
All right, excellent point for the kids out there. All right, that brings the score to Emily with 60, Dave with 20. Dave, you're up next. Please challenge a geek.
I challenge the Simpsons geek.
Simpsons geek, you've been challenged.
You must be higher than Marge's hairdo.
All right, let's see if Dave is on something. Dave, here's your first Simpsons question. What animated cat and mouse have their own popular ultra-violent TV show?
Itchy and Scratchy.
That is correct. They fight and fight and fight. All right, Simpsons geek, your medal is in danger. You must answer this more difficult question. What animated dog character that was voiced by Homer had a short-lived role on the Itchy and Scratchy show?
That's interesting because Homer wasn't the first choice. It was Troy McClure and Otto, the school bus driver. But as we all know, that dog is Poochie.
Poochie is who it was. All right, Dave, here's your next Simpsons question. Who is this kid on the right, and what's the name of his best friend on the left?
It's Bart Simpson. His friend is Milhouse.
That is correct. Simpsons geek, once again, your medal is in danger. Here's your question. What are the full names of both of Milhouse's parents?
It's interesting because in one episode, they actually got divorced. But I believe his father's name is Kirk Van Houten, and his mother is Luann Van Houten.
That is correct. Well done, Simpsons Geek. All right, Dave, the Simpsons Geek has successfully defended his medal twice. That means in order to decide this challenge, we're going to go to the 15-second Geek Off. When I say go, you're going to have 15 seconds to give me as many well-known, valid responses as you can in the following category. Simpsons merchandising items on which Bart has appeared. Go.
Clocks, radios, phones, dolls, cells, videos, merchandising, backpacks, wallets.
That's time. You got eight valid responses, which means that Simpsons Geek, you must get at least 9 valid responses in your Geek Off in order to successfully defend your medal. Your category is titles of Simpsons episodes. Go.
When You Dish Upon a Star, Homer at the Bat, Homer Goes to College, Homer's Odyssey, Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie, Itchy and Scratchy and Marge, The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace.
That's very impressive, but you did not get enough valid responses in time. Simpsons Geek, you must surrender your medal. Dave, you got the kiss, the medal, the 20 points, and the 10 bonus points. And after the first challenge round, Emily, you're ahead with 60, Dave not far behind with 50. And when we come back, medals become twice as valuable, and the herd of challengers is thinned by 1. Don't miss that, my friends, right after this. Welcome back to Beat the Geeks. It's time now for 2 more challenges. In this round, medals are worth 40 points each. Now, only the one of you with the most points, I will remind you, will get the shot at the grand prize package worth $5,000. All right, Dave, you need the most help, so this time you go first. Please challenge one of our remaining geeks.
I challenge the movie Geek.
Movie Geek, you've been challenged.
You know, in a few minutes, this show's going to be like that old Cheech and Chong routine. Dave's not here.
All right, Dave, here's your first movie question. In the 1988 John Sayles baseball film 8 Men Out, what star of High Fidelity played third baseman Buck Weaver?
John Cusack.
That is correct. Movie Geek, your medal is in danger. From 8 Men Out, name 3 of the actors who played the other 7 men out.
D.B. Sweeney, Charlie Sheen, I believe Dermot Mulroney.
Incorrect. Movie Geek, you must surrender your medal in shame. And on the first question of the challenge, David Strathairn, Don Harvey, Michael Rooker, James Reed, and Terry Lang were the others. All right, Dave, that means another medal for you. You beat that geek. You're now in the lead, 90-60. All right. Emily, it's now your turn to challenge. Let's get this formality over with and challenge the remaining geek.
I challenge the music geek.
Music Geek, you've been challenged.
Emily, you are about to be covered in more dust than a Vanilla Ice CD moldering in a cutout bin.
All right, Emily, let's see what you can do. We've had all 3 geeks beaten so far. The Spanish duo Los Del Rio sang what 1996 smash dance hit?
Macarena?
That is correct. Music Geek, your medal is in danger. Who had a #1 hit in 1975 with The Hustle?
Well, The Hustle, of course, one of the great 70s disco dance crazes. And that's actually kind of a great song, like a lot of disco pop from that era. And the guy who recorded it, his name is Van McCoy.
That is correct. Van McCoy and the Soul City Orchestra. Emily, we go to another music question. Look at this picture of the band Aerosmith taken in 2001. Name the singer pictured in the center of this photo.
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler is that man. All right, Music Geek, once again, your medal is in danger. Name the other 4 members of Aerosmith seen in this picture.
Let's see. Well, aside from Joe Perry, who's the guitarist, and Steven Tyler, the vocalist, it's the other 3 guys that are troublesome. Trying to remember their last names. One's named Kramer, one's named Hamilton, and the other one is named, I think it's Whitford.
That is correct. Joe Perry, Joey Kramer, Tom Hamilton, and Brad Whitford. Well done, Music Geek. All right, Emily. The geek has successfully defended his medal twice. That means we're going to go to the 15-second Geek Off once again. Your category is bands or artists from Ireland. Go.
U2, absolutely no idea. Limp Bizkit, I have no idea.
That's time. Limp Bizkit, I don't think we can accept. Let me check my count. I believe it was one. One valid response. All right, Music Geek. Your medal is in danger, but you have a pretty good chance of defending it. She
Yeah,
got
I'm
one. That means in your Geek Off, you must get at least 2 valid responses.
I'm
Are you
sweating.
ready?
Oh, yeah.
Your category is bands or artists from Scotland. Go.
Let's go with Lloyd Cole and the Commotions and Orange Juice.
That'll do it. A successful defense of your medal. The only geek to successfully defend today. All right, that is the end of the challenge rounds. The score remains Dave with 90, Emily with 60. And now it all comes down to the Geequalizer. Yes, it's still anybody's game because the Geequalizer could be worth up to 150 points. In the Geequalizer, I'm going to start naming titles, people, phrases, and things. You will have 2 seconds to tell me whether each one is currently best known for movies, TV, or music. For each correct answer, we'll give you 10 points. Answer incorrectly or freeze at any time, and the Geequalizer is over for you. Emily, you're behind, so you're going to go first. You need 30 points to stay in this game. That means you must get at least 3 of these in a row. Let's Geequalize. Mae West.
Movies.
West Side Story.
Movie.
West End Girls.
Music.
West End Blues.
TV.
No, the answer there is music. It was a jazz standard written by Louis Armstrong. But you did tie Dave. That means in your Geequalizer, you need just to get the first one in order to win this game. Are you ready?
All right.
All right, Dave, let's Geequalize. Tweety Bird.
TV.
That's it. Emily, you made it a valiant effort, but you did not get enough points to take over the lead. We must say goodbye to you. Please exit the Geek Arena now. Bye-bye. All right, that means Dave is our final challenger and is going through to the Geek to Geek Showdown for a chance at an amazing grand prize. Now, of course, Dave, what you get depends on which geek you beat. Which geek do you challenge for the final showdown?
I'm going after the Simpsons Geek.
Simpsons Geek, you've been challenged.
Your chances of winning are slimmer than Mr. Burns' spindly fingers.
If you beat our Simpsons Geek, you're going to need some geek gear of your own. So, CDW Computing Solutions Built for Business is giving you $5,000 worth of geek equipment. They've got a huge selection of high-end computers, digital cameras, and DVD players. Start your own Millhouse website, watch Maggie shoot Mr. Burns over and over, or even make your own Bartman music video. With CDW and a slew of geek tools, you'll finally be able to call yourself a Simpsons Geek, you lucky bastard. It's a grand prize package worth over $5,000.
Stay right where you are, because when we come back, we'll see if Dave can get it up high enough to put one over on the Simpsons Geek. Stay tuned to Beat the Geeks. Welcome back to Beat the Geeks. As you all know, this is the Geek to Geek Showdown. The rules are simple. For each category, you can choose a 1, 2, or 3-point question. The first person to 7 points wins, and the more the points, the harder the question. For each category, the geek cannot choose an easier question than the challenger. The challenger goes first. That's you, Dave. Here we go. The category is animals in Springfield. Would you like a 1, 2, or 3-point question?
2, please.
For 2 points. What kind of wild canine was Homer's spiritual guide during the hallucinations he had after eating a very spicy Guatemalan pepper?
Was that a wolf?
It was not a wolf. It was a coyote. No points there. All right, Simpsons Geek, would you like a 2 or 3-point question in the same category?
I will take a 3.
For 3 points, name the 3-eyed fish Bart and Lisa caught in the stream outside the power plant.
That fish's name is Blinky.
That is correct, for 3 points and the lead. Dave, the category is Mad About Marge. Would you like a 1, 2, or 3-point question?
2, please.
For 2 points. What is Marge Simpson's maiden name?
It is Bouvier.
That is correct, for 2 points. Simpsons Geek, a 2 or 3-point question?
3.
For 3 points. What is the profession of Jacques, the character with whom Marge nearly had an affair in the episode entitled Life on the Fast Lane?
One of my favorite sports, actually. In fact, in this sport, a strike is good, so he is a bowling instructor.
That is correct for another 3 points. Dave is up 6-2. You need 7 points to win this showdown. The category is Springfield nuclear power. Would you like a 1, 2, or 3-point question?
Give me the 2 again.
All right, for 2 points. What troubled former Dodger and Yankee player played softball for the Springfield nuclear power plant?
Is that Daryl Strawberry?
That is correct for 2 points. All right, Simpsons Geek, you got a chance to win this showdown. Would you like a 2 or 3-point question?
I will go for a 3.
All right, you're showing off with a 3-point question. For the victory, in what sector does Homer Simpson work at the power plant?
Oh, so many numbers, so many letters to choose from. Well, I guess I'll have to go with Sector 7G.
That is correct. You win the showdown. Congratulations, Geek. You know, I never tire of watching you geeks win. It's like watching animals do it on the Discovery Channel. Always interesting. All right, everybody, I'm J. Keith Van Stratton. Join us next time when 3 blips on the radar face off against the sonic boom of pyrotechnic pop portion. Here on Basic Geeks. We'll see you then.
This is Comedy